seconds. 20 seconds. There we go.
I'll share that too.
Hey guys, Max Bone from Citywide Blog right here. I am at the Keystone Comic-Con. As you can see, it's a little quiet today, except I'm talking to kind of a big deal here. Camera around. I'm talking to Mega Ran. Oh my God, he's here, guys. I'm talking to him.
A wild Mega Ran appeared.
This is like a dream come true.
What?
A wild Mega Ran.
Fight, run,
That's
or
right.
item? No.
I'm not gonna fight you, man.
Interview then. How about that?
Matthew's interview. It's super effective.
Super effective.
I know this stuff, man, but dude, it's so cool having you here, man, talking to you. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for taking the time to chat, man. I am honored. It's good to be back home, you know.
Yes,
Philadelphia's
man.
my home.
Philly, born and raised, huh?
Absolutely. I love this place, and to see a Comic-Con come in here and be a part of the first one, I think hopefully of many, and I'm so stoked.
It's very cool, man. Now, we've got a ton to talk about, man. I want to dive right in, though. I saw recently your heel turn video. You're going heel, man?
Well,
are you doing the NWO? Is that what's happening here?
Well,
are you gonna like leg drop your best friend?
No, never. Okay,
well,
so
that's good.
It's a dedication to Bret Hart in that.
Yep.
Just for a little history lesson for those who maybe weren't in the wrestling. Right in the start of the Attitude Era, I guess mid '90s.
Yeah.
You know, there was a shift, and what was good and what was cool became two different things. And so when Bret Hart was just being who he was, you know, shaking hands and hugging kids and giving his glasses to the kids, when Stone Cold came around,
yes,
he was the bad guy, but bad was cool. So good old good guy helping hugging kids was boring, and therefore they booed the good guy.
Yeah.
And therefore Bret had to turn heel. And that's what the song's all about. It's like still continuing to be a nice guy in a bad world.
Yeah.
And somehow, and that
we're like the villain is now the good guy, basically. The villain is what everyone likes.
Absolutely.
And I've actually been rewatching that stuff because that for me was like my favorite era,
it's great
the Edge
stuff.
era. And so I remember, like, you know, Bret Hart being like, you know, boo America and boo, you know, you guys don't respect me. So the question I have for you is, you know, you've been touring, you know, of course, you've been many accomplishments, many awards, you know, touring all over the world.
Thank you.
In fact, you're actually going to Japan pretty soon.
Going to Japan in a couple of days.
That's so awesome, man. Do you
excited.
feel like you've made your mark in the hip hop world?
That's a good question. There's still things I want to accomplish. So I haven't made the full mark that I want to make. When people think hopefully of video game rap or nerdy rap or things like that, hopefully they think of me. But at the same time, I don't know if that translates to what the hip hop world considers success. So people always like to try to put an asterisk on it or a caveat, like, whoa, that's hip hop, but it's for nerds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to be good hip hop. That's all, for good people, for all people. And that's really it. So I still have work to do. I want nerd raps winning Grammys. You know what I mean? Nerd raps topping the Billboard and being at the Billboard Awards and those things. And I think when those things happen, it may not be me. It may not even be the next guy after me. But it might be the next guy after that who was inspired, hopefully, to be themselves, talk about their nerdy childhood and all the things that they love and put it into their rap songs. And that's really what I want. I fight for legitimacy for this every day. You know what I mean? Because I know that I work really hard on the songs that I put together. I work really hard on making my stage show awesome. I work really hard on social media, as you see, like, you know, tweeting and telling folks, you know, where I'm playing and what I'm doing and trying to be engaging and entertaining. So I work really hard at that. So I want that to be the thing that people remember and continue to push on. You know?
Nice. And I definitely see nerdcore definitely picking up. I definitely see it becoming more popular. Not on the level where, unfortunately, where it's winning the Grammys, but I think we're seeing more people becoming a little braver about it because being a nerd all of a sudden is cool.
I think the line is blurring, and I think that's what's happening. Is that nerd culture is now pop culture. So now, you know, it's not weird to go see the Black Panther movie because everybody's, you know,
literally everyone everywhere.
You know what I mean?
Movie.
It's not odd to be following comic books, cartoons, anime, you know, because it's okay now. So I think that we're in an awesome place now where kids can be who they are. Kids, big kids and little kids as well. And that's awesome. Me growing up in Philly and in a neighborhood in West Oak Lane that was, I won't say rough, But we had, the typical bullying and kids, giving each other hard times about things. And I remember when I had comic books and I would bring them to school, like kids would be like, "What are you doing? Reading that nerd stuff?" And I would get teased for it. Or if I played video games, they'd be like, "Oh, you're the video game nerd, huh?" And nerd was a bad thing, but now we've accepted it and we're okay with nerd because we're all nerds about something. Exactly. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean,
and nerd just means passionate. That's all.
Exactly.
So if you're passionate about something, you're a nerd.
Yeah, you can be like a music nerd, you can be an art nerd, you can be a football nerd.
Yeah, you can be sports nerds. I used to collect sports cards, and I was completely nerdy about people's points averages or how many minutes they played or how many games they played. Like, I was so nerdy about stats to the point where you're absolutely a nerd if you're passionate about whatever it is.
Man. Now, we were talking earlier about the tour, and you are all over the place right now. I know that you're currently on tour, and you're leaving tomorrow for your next stop, right?
Yep. Tomorrow we'll be at another con. Yeah, J1 in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Nice. Now, when you go on tour, do you ever have a chance to just kind of stop and like tour the area, sightsee, or are you just on the go?
I make time for it when I can.
Yeah.
This one's been a little hectic. Conventions are like you got to get in early, set up, and all that, so you don't have as much time. But usually, my goal is to pull up at a venue 2-3 hours before the doors open. I'm there before the staff of the venue, and then I can park my car and just walk the area. Walk as far as I can in that hour, and then come back. Maybe I try some food from the area and meet some people. I don't know, go to a local business. I don't know. It's just a small thing inside of me where I want to support the local economy somehow. So I'll go do that, and then I'll come straight back to the venue and play the show. And if I can that next morning, I'll get out and do some stuff as well. So yeah, that's my thing, because I try my best to, like, I think it's important to see these towns that you're in, and not just the stage or one room of a city. What's the point of traveling if all you see is this one room that looks exactly the same everywhere you go?
Yeah, exactly. They're all,
the stage looks the same everywhere.
Yeah, venue's a venue.
Right. So you got to try some food. You got to meet some people.
Yes.
Things
Definitely.
like that. So I'm all about that. Nice. And I haven't lived in Philadelphia for almost 10 years, but I come back several times a year.
Cool.
And it's just like I'm a visitor all over again. I went to the Italian market. I had a giant pastrami sandwich. It was incredible. So being able to do that was so fun. Like, I'm just like really thankful that we get to travel as we do.
Definitely, man. Definitely. What would you say are some of the better Philly venues?
Music venues?
Yeah.
Man, the TLA, Theater of the Living Arts on South Street. That was always one that, as young artists, we all dreamed of seeing that marquee, because they had that cool marquee. I went and saw GZA from Wu-Tang Clan there when I was young.
Oh, and dude, old Wu-Tang Clan is my jam.
Incredible show. So being able to see that stuff, I think that the history that I have with that place is great. I like the smaller to medium venues. World Cafe Live is another one. Warm Daddies. The Fire is another one. Small, kind of hole-in-the-wall feel, but I really love that indie feel of the venue. And then, of course, there's big ones, the Electric Factory. There's so many more, but I feel like to me, the small ones are where I get the most love. There's a cool DIY spot called Philomoka down West Philly that I really love too. So there's a lot of them.
Yeah. I definitely agree about the small venues, because I'm a Boston boy originally, and for me, like, the smaller places, Dem Square Coffee House, what else is small? The All Asia, which is gone, unfortunately. Yeah, a lot of places come and go, but the small places I think are the better ones, because the chance to actually like meet the artist. Otherwise, it's like big place, packed crowd. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, like we always say on the road, like, I'd rather play for 20 of the right people than 20,000 of the wrong people.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like if you're in a small space with 20 passionate folks, you can have the best time of your life, and you can give them a moment that'll last a lifetime.
Yeah.
Which you can't do in a stadium show,
Definitely, man. What have been some of the highlights for you for like this year? I'm not gonna say for all time, because I'm sure that's needle in a haystack, I'm sure. Okay. But like for this year recently, what's been like the highlight for you?
This year's been crazy. I can name probably one a month at this point. This year's been probably one of the best years of my life.
Good problem to have, man.
January was Guinness World Records was given to me from in London. We received the award for most video game remixes, completed and
Damn.
released commercially, which was really cool. South by Southwest in March was my fifth time headlining a like a national worldwide festival, you know, so that was really dope. Went to the UK in April, headlined a 2-week-long Europe tour. So yeah, there's been just so many great things. June, I released an album called Emerald Nights 2, which was ranked number 22 rap albums on Billboard. And then we did a remix re-release of that, 2.1, which came out a little bit after, which also did really well. I did a song for Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi,
Nice.
probably two of the greatest wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
And I had them co-sign and enjoy the song enough to want to use it as their entrance at the CEO New Japan event. Man, there's just been so much this year. On top of that, touring hard, working on new videos. The Kickstarter just completed with MC Lars. I believe we got 220% of our intended goal, which was a real blessing. So the album's coming out in October, and probably right around Halloween, and it's called the Dewey Decibel System. And that's just a few. I hate to toot my own horn.
Yes, but yeah, it's been like a big year for you, man.
Yeah.
So how do you like top this? Like when you like kick off New Year, do you set like goals for yourself in terms of things that you want to do, or is it more like just let it fly and see what happens?
How do I top this? I die. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh jeez! Don't do that yet. Okay,
this just
come
got
on.
dark.
That got really dark. No.
Honestly,
die saving the world.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Honestly, I always try to set at the top what I'm doing, but I never really know how. Like, things just happen for me. Like,
Sure.
you know, the wrestling thing the last couple of years. We did a podcast. Oh, our podcast is at 100 episodes now.
I listened to that most recent one.
Really
So cool.
excited about that. It was a fun episode we did at StarCast. Just being able to build that podcast from a passion project, where it still is, to also something that can make be a good platform for folks so that can come along with me on the journey. You know, T-Call, Rock Knowledge, Neo X are my co-hosts, who are all now personalities in their own right, you know what I mean? So I think it's really awesome to be able to bring folks along for the ride. And that's when you're reaching real success. I listened to the Jay-Z and Beyonce album, and he said something about that. He said, I don't judge success by how much money you make, but I judge that success by how much you've been able to share with other people.
Ooh.
You know, how many millionaires did you make? You know what I mean? Not just yourself, but how many other folks have you put in positions that have all come up under you, you know? And I've been thinking about that a lot. So I try to make sure that my friends, I work with super talented producers, kind of G1, did most of the beats on the Emerald Nights album and the Matt Mania album. Lynx Kinetic, who did the beat for Golden. And like I said, my co-hosts, the guys I'm on tour with now, Microphone Misfits. You know, I'm nothing if I'm not putting those people in front of new audiences and making people know who they are. You know, that's really how I look at it now. So that's the next level of success. If I can bring someone up, you know, I work with an artist named Sky Blue, who's incredible, makes such great music. So if I can bring another artist up along with me, then I'll feel like I topped everything I've already done.
Nice. How do you find the people that you bring up? Are these all just like friends of yours, or people that you kind of meet like on the road?
I mean, a combination, man. Some people are old friends. Some people maybe. Sky Blue messaged me. He sent me an email like 6 years ago that I never read, but I just missed it.
So get back to you now.
And then I saw him live, and I was like, oh man, he's really good. And then he's like, you know, I messaged you, and I was like, you did? And I went back and I found the old email, and I was like, dude, I feel so bad because I hadn't read it. And yeah, like, so sometimes, most of the time it's experience, going out, seeing great people, like walking around a Comic-Con, for example, seeing great art and saying, oh my gosh, can you do art for my next album? You know what I mean? Things like that. That's usually how a lot of things happen for me. It's just finding people who make great art and saying, hey, let's try to make something cool together. And that's how it is.
Cool, man. Going back a bit to wrestling, I'm so glad you brought that up because I'm a huge wrestling nerd too.
Nice.
You got to meet Daniel Bryan today. Who's
I did.
Definitely a legend in the field.
Oh, legendary, man. You know, I don't get starstruck with any of these guys at this point. I've been fortunate enough to be in the same room and have regular conversations with a lot of like legendary people. But Daniel Bryan's one of those guys, man, because I feel like he got me back into wrestling. You know what I mean? Seeing his climb, you know, being the little guy who didn't look like everyone else, and
Yeah.
you know, I knew that struggle all too well, you know, and so his story really spoke to me, and I think that watching him climb was so inspirational. So yeah, I got a little starstruck. I didn't really know what to say. I was just like, and we wound up talking about football. You know, we talked about the Seahawks, and I talked about the Eagles, and that was it. You know, but we had a really good conversation, and I appreciate what these guys go through as wrestlers. So more so now, you know, after I've been doing the podcast and being able to hang around guys, I respect what they do so much. You know, seeing the bumps and the bruises that they take, all to entertain us. You know, risking their lives. You know, and it's like, man, I risk not nearly as much as they do. You know, I risk some time out of my day and time away from my wife. But these guys also risk their health, you know, for us, which is really cool. Speaking of, there's a wrestling match going on right now.
The bell's ringing. I mean, I gotta get going. I gotta get in there.
I gotta get in the ring, you know. There's a House of Hardcore matches going on all during the day, so I want to definitely check those out.
Yeah, and folks, if you're just watching this now, if you're actually here in the building, of course, Mega Ran, you are performing later on tonight.
I am. Yes, come see me at the Microphone Misfits 7:30, and I think I'm on at around 8 o'clock, and it's going to be awesome. And then MC Chris to follow.
Nice, man. All right. So where do folks go to learn more about you and to get the music and follow you online and give us the whole alphabet soup of
all right. Well,
your social medias?
If you want to know more about me, it's megaran.com. It's my website. If you want to know more about my music, megaranmusic.com. If you want to buy merch, megaranmerch.com. And if you want to follow my everyday activities, Twitter is the way to do that. At Megaran. It looks like Meg Ryan when it's pushed together because there's a capital M, capital R. So you're gonna be like, man, I thought that was
Meg Ryan too, I suppose. That'd be nice.
I thought that was Meg Ryan, but nah, it's not Meg Ryan. She's not dropping hot rhymes like this.
Yes.
Not yet. Anyway.
This will be her like post acting career.
She'll be a rapper.
She'll be just like a sick MC Ryan. Hope you, Meg Ryan, if you're watching this, I'm hoping I'm giving you good career advice.
That would be great. Yeah, so yeah, that's the best places to find me.
Awesome, man. Well, Meg Ryan, thank you so much, man. Appreciate this, and just have a blast on the tour. I hope it's amazing for you.
Thank you for taking the time to chat.
Thank you. All right.